but as you get older, you hope that you grow and mature. Gordy ain't mature. That nigga is still playing these childish games, and he won't get fucked up. He's still alive, y'all. He 91 years old. I'm surprised ain't nobody smacking in the mouth yet. Well, hello there, love bugs. Hello there, bellas. If you have not already done so, please remember to like, share the Facebook, subscribe, and visit uptopbeauty.com. And if you are not already a part of our book club, please remember to hit the Patreon link below and or the join button here on the YouTube. And for a small monthly fee of $5, you babies, yes you, can be privy to all the shenanigans before the YouTube gets it, if the YouTube gets it. Now, love bugs, let's continue talking about Bury Me and Motown, the Untold Story by Gordy Singleton. Now, where we left off, you know that Sugar Ray is in New York City. Okay, she just met a guy, Ed Singleton. Okay, he is like her knight in shining armor. He presented himself to her in a way that, look, these ninjas out here in New York, they like Satans walking among us. Okay, I'm here to protect you. All right, she's in this love affair with Ed Singleton. Yeah, she had to beg for that pickle too, because that's all Sugar Ray do is beg for dick, So on this particular day, Sugar Ray is grieving the assassination of JFK. Okay, this same day she gets a call from Barry Bedbug Bites talking about him and Taco Meat Marvin were in a fist fight. Barry took a second to find his voice. Come on, what are you talking about? President Kennedy has just been killed, and here you are talking about your money? Give me my money, Mother Hunchy. They argued back and forth. Barry aghast at Marvin, and Marvin spitting anger at Barry on the umpteenth go-round. Barry jumped over his desk, and they had a knockdown, drag-out fight, rolling all over the floor of Barry's office. Can you imagine? Barry asked me. People are crying in the streets, and the only thing he can say is, give me my money. He and I talked about our huge sense of loss, and Barry was sentimental with me in a way he hadn't been in a very long time. And when the topic of Carrie came up, as it often did, Barry spoke hopefully of getting to spend time with our son, whom he missed dearly. Only towards the end of the conversation did I hear the deep weariness in his voice. It was quite late when I put down the phone. Ed hadn't come home yet, and I wandered around the kitchen listening to the noises from the street. It had been almost 2 years since Barry and I had talked like that. Never before had I wanted so badly to turn back the clock. The president's death continued to affect us. That day in November cast a darkness over the nation for months to follow. The year in review for the New York office loomed several months down the road, and I felt my survival was at stake. This was my proving ground. I put the pedal to the floor in every aspect of my work, and with fuel from the more amicable contact I was having with Barry, I began to feel encouraged. I knew that we had two potential gold mines in Tim Wilson's group, the Serenades and George Clinton's Parliament gang. Determined to ignore my few gnawing anxieties, I scheduled a trip to Hitsville to stoke the enthusiasm there. There had been a couple of stranger omens from Detroit. One night, several months before, I had picked up the phone to hear a familiar voice. The hairs on the back of my neck stood on end. "Hello," she said. "How are you?" "I'm very well, Margaret." She was calling to tell me that she and Barry were going to have a baby. I'd heard it from her before, but this time it was true. It was Rockwell. This is how I know the little girl is crazy. "Rockwell, I don't know you like that. I don't mean to be talking about your mammy. I don't know your mammy like that. All I know is what Sugar Ray is putting in this book. Okay? But I know if somebody pulled a pistol on me, okay, well, she ain't pulling on her, but when Sugar Ray went into the bowling alley that day and stuck the pistol in her side and was like, "Get up, bitch. You about to meet your maker tonight." It was only through the grace of Smokey the Robinson that she lived, or at least didn't get beaten to a pulp. If I had that situation to me, either two or one of two things are going to happen. Either I'm going to, place a phone call. Okay, Blink, if you know what I'm saying. I am from uptown. Okay. Or I'm going to leave the bitch alone. I'm going to leave the bitch alone. I'm going to leave, the man alone. I'm leaving the whole shebang alone because Bertie Gordy, is that serious to you that you want to lose your life for? Man, I ain't never met no pickle that serious. Never, never. Never. After that, she started making periodic phone calls to the office again. I was fortunately hardened to her pattern and managed to keep the demons at bay. But then Ed began to get a series of unusual calls, not from Margaret, but from Barry. "Ray's not going to stay with you, But Barry the Gordy is crazy too, or he is horrifically immature. He's got to be in his mid-30s now with this behavior is jarring to me, and niggas is always like 15 years behind us, but bruh, now come on, bruh, when you had her, you didn't want her, but that's the way life goes. People never appreciate anything until it's gone. Some of my commenters were like, "Nay, I don't even think that he liked her." At first I didn't think he liked her either, right? But like I said, when you see somebody else holding the diamond ring that you threw away, all of a sudden you want that diamond ring back. That's just what, human beings do. Even as children, we don't want the toy until we see somebody else playing with it. But as you get older, you hope that you grow and mature. Barry Gordy ain't mature. That nigga is still playing these childish games, and he gonna get fucked up. He's still alive, y'all. He 91 years old. I'm surprised ain't nobody smack him in the mouth yet. My zest for the New York scene gave me a thrill, but my hopes weren't paying the bills. When I'd left Hitsville, my Motown salary was $20,000. Pretty nice for Detroit. But in New York, less taxes, it was nothing, especially with raising two boys. Rent on my Detroit apartment had been $95 a month. In New York, rent was $400. Then there were my struggling writers, most of whom were totally broke. At first, I had budgeted $50 advances for them here and there. Soon that money stopped coming, and I fronted them the money out of my own pocket. But before long, my pockets were empty, and the funds for the demo sessions were dwindling daily. There was simply no getting around it. The budget had to be updated. Yet Detroit continued to turn a deaf ear to my repeated requests for money. I was optimistic, though. As I led my New York crew onto the airplane, their performances at Hitsville would be sure to wake everyone up to what I was trying to do. I was there for a day when I placed a call to Mike. That's her brother. "It's going great. Guess what? The minute we got in, Barry took us straight back to the studio. Both of the groups did some numbers and Barry flipped. Mike chuckled. That's great. What did he say? He said he was definitely interested. We're going to record a couple of songs, and as Barry put it, we'll see where we go from there. And Mike, everybody went nuts for the serenades. We're going to cut that song I love, If Your Heart Says Yes. Barry said Tim Wilson's voice is as strong as Martha Reeves. The guys are psyched. Sitting out on the front porch hanging with the natives, Mike was rooting for me all the way. On the flight home, I was still positive, but not as high as the first day. For one thing, I knew I had to deal with Barry's capricious tactics in his personal arena. On one hand, you look at the women, like we look at Diana, Ross as the demon. Not me, because I love the boss, okay? All yous that got a problem with Diana, you can kiss my ass, because Diana, okay, is man, I love Diana as long as I can remember, probably since I was like 9 or 10, okay? It makes me feel sorry for the women that dealt with Barry Gordy. That nigga was a piece of work. You hear me? So the situation is this, okay? Sugar Ray is on a plane ride home. One of the members of the Serenades is like, okay, did you get a word on anything? Did they say anything good or bad? Anything about us to give us some sense of relief, because going to Detroit to perform for Barry Gordy's Motown is a big friggin' deal. So to me, he played the same type of games that he played with women as he do with his artists, okay? And we know this from reading the Mary Wilson book, along with some of the things that we've read here in Sugar Ray's book, okay? Hey, Barry, I began casually. This wasn't an easy phone call, but the money situation was very tense. Our review was now only 3 months away, and Detroit was dragging its heels on picking up the projects. Listen, we need a budget update, and fast. We're on the verge of some great things here, but we're being squeezed tight. That's out of the question, he said. I started to laugh. Are you serious, Barry? So, Sugar Ray is like, wait a minute, niggers. You can't be serious. You can't be. You know what's going on here. I got these 2 boys here with me. Now, Barry the Gordy is probably in his mind. Nobody told you to take them up there. They were doing just fine down here with me. Remember, Sugar Ray brung up the boys, because Ed, her new dude, was like, maybe you should bring the boys up here, okay? I think the boys should, be with their mother and their father, okay? She's going through all these different, expenses that she has here in New York, but Barry's not hearing it, because I believe that in Barry's mind, he was thinking, look, it was your idea to go out to New York. You're out in New York because of you, okay? So now you want me to give you more money to pursue your dream when you should have kept your ass down here with me and just kept hunching me and letting me crawl through your window? Girl, that's on you. That's your problem, he said harshly. You either come up with a way to do it or close the office. Stunned, I dropped the phone. Never in my wildest fears had I anticipated this. Barry, bed bug bites, had always respected my judgment and given me full backing. Mike and I trimmed the operation down to the bones. Oh my goodness. To want something so bad, to want to be successful so bad, but you realize that, all the people that you initially sold the dream to, you have to snatch that dream up under them. I'm seeing that she's trying to use the same formula that they used initially with Hitsville, but because the cost of living is so expensive, it's hard for Sugar Ray to keep up. Because remember, they just borrowed a couple $1,000s from Bertie Gordy's family. Oh my God, girl. I know she is kicking herself up the entire ass. I would be so turned off. I would feel like I just slept with I slept with the devil. I had a baby with the devil. Oh my God, that's how I would feel. If I had somebody to turn on me like how Barry Gordy is turning on Sugar Ray, I would literally feel like I was married to a demon. So like I was saying, because she's like, what? This can't be true. Barry Gordy, no. This nigga ain't turning on me. He can't be. He ain't this bad, is he? I had that before, y'all, where I was so entranced by someone because I believe that, no, he cannot be this bad. No way could God make one of his children this evil. No way. So what she did was she decided to call him and say, hey, look, Barry, maybe you was in a bad mood that day that we talked previously, let me talk to you again. This is the situation. Hey, can you send us some help? Can't do it, he said. It's out of my hands. Barry stated in a flat voice. I don't have anything else to say. Goodbye. If you have not already done so, please remember to like, share to Facebook, subscribe, and visit uptopbeauty.com. Now remember this. The same people that you meet on the way up will always be the people that you meet on the way down. Naysayers, my patron loves. Bellas, sweethearts, love bugs. Be safe. Get vaccinated.